Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
We back, baby. Episode 51. You heard me? How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling great. How are you?
Good. You excited to be back?
I'm super excited to get back. I'm at a PE conference right now. Maybe we'll stop by.
Okay. Quick little stop by in person. Next time you guys see this, it'll probably be virtual. But for now, we're back in person.
Yep.
Back in action. About to get it popping. About to get it. Just go ahead and get right into things. So, we are going to be opening the podcast a new way moving forward. Just decided today, actually.
Yeah.
Not much thought into this yet, so we'll see how it develops. But we thought it'd be a beautiful idea to open every podcast with our quick picks. So each week we're going to have a different category. This week, quick picks, opening the episode. GOAT fast food restaurants. GOAT fast food restaurants. Comment below your GOAT fast food restaurants. Top 5. Mo, start us off. What's number 5 for you?
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be in order.
Yeah.
Unless you want it to be.
Yeah. So I'm just going to throw this one out here just because it's what got everything started, and that's McDonald's. I'm going with McDonald's just because it might not be the best
McDonald's item.
It's either the Big Mac or I like their chicken sandwiches. Their nuggets are good too, and I'm also putting them on this list because they have a goated app.
Okay. The app getting some love.
You get points quick.
Okay, I respect it. Right off the bat, I got Culver's. Culver's is probably in my top 3 if I had to put them in order. But Culver's top 5, bussin', Butterburger all day, cheese curds all day. What you got for number 4?
Put me down for that Chick-fil-A. You see what I'm saying? Chick-fil-A is definitely up there for me. The Lord's Chicken. So I just gotta put that in there.
Give me the Lord's Chicken as well.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going right with you. What's your number 3?
My number 3, I don't know. I think, gosh, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in here. It's somewhere in the top 3, but it's Five Guys. I mean, it is fast food at its finest. They don't have a drive-through, which, that kind of sucks at that point, but they're quality food. It is fast food. The burgers smack. It's one of my favorite burgers.
I'm not mad at that at all. Number 3, give me Zaxby's. Give me the Zax. I know I just put 2 chicken places on here. I don't care. Zaxby's, probably the most underrated. And it's bussin' for me every time. Zaxby's, let's go.
So, what's also on my top 5?
You got 2 left.
Picks. I got 2 left. I got to use them wisely. And man, this is tough because again, these are quick picks. God, I'm gonna have to go with Wendy's. It's such a
no.
I'm going with Wendy's.
The Frosties are goated, but the rest of it, no.
Thanks to Reggie Miller for being such a great advertiser for this brand. But you dip the fries in the Frosty, it's like nothing else. When it hits for me. So I'm just gonna put that up there.
All right, give me, and this is controversial. This is a hot take because I know that I feel like over the years this place has gained controversy. Although maybe it's only people in my personal life, like my girlfriend. But Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake is just the perfect spot late night. It works every time.
Cap.
No, it does. It does. You can hate, but like I said, it's controversial in 2023 to say Steak and Shake is top 5. But Steak and Shake all day, baby.
For all of you that don't know what a Steak and Shake is or what it looks like, it's
who doesn't know what Steak and Shake is?
Well, I feel like the youth out there, they don't know much. Steak and Shakes, there's not many new Steak and Shakes being built. I feel like they're just being taken away. They've been
that's fair.
They've been modified. They've made simpler because the staff that were there, as the branch did terrible like service and everything. So they made it. You just go to the little.
Well, that's saving their whole brand.
It is. The kiosk is definitely saving their brand, but. Yeah, for me,
This is your last pick, right?
Yeah, it's my last pick. I'm just going to throw up Popeyes. I just had it. Heck. Free advertising.
All right.
It's really good. It smacks. I wouldn't say Popeyes is number 1, but again, we had to make these quick and everything like that. So I just had to throw that in there.
Is Qdoba fast food?
Yeah. If we're shoot. You know what?
You know what? No,
If we're gonna make that the case, though, then I'm putting burritos and beer at number one. And
Okay,
clear as day.
but that's not a chain.
Oh, so it's fast food chains now. We said it was fast food.
I mean, by definition,
Technically, yes.
beers and burritos fast food. But no, I would go because I didn't include any pizza on here. Although it's not the same type of fast food.
Papa?
I guess we should have specified drive-through, okay?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's go Panda. You know what? Let's just do it. Panda.
Okay.
Panda Express. It's my number 5. It works.
Panda's a good one.
It's solid.
Solid.
You know what you're getting every time. It's not... the consistency is what does it for me.
Yeah.
I seem conflicted on it because I am.
Conflicted.
But it's the consistency for me. So I'm going Panda as my number 5.
Yeah. So yeah, to close out our quick picks, these are supposed to be kind of right off the dome. And as you could tell, we couldn't even tell, what the definition of a fast food restaurant is.
But comment yours below.
Comment
yours below.
Yeah,
let's see it.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Moving right along. Next segment. We got another new segment for you guys.
It's exciting.
For our movie coverage for this week. For the rest of 2023, we're going to be going through some movies and saying if they're going to be a pop, if they're going to be a hit, popular,
or flop.
So we're going to do box office as well as the actual movie itself. Is it going to be good or is it going to suck? So, starting things off, pop or flop, we got the Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you at as far as the box office?
Yeah, so box office for the Marvels is a flop. Marvel
for Marvel standards.
For Marvel standards.
Keep in mind, if it was like an indie movie, the projections that it has right now would be good. But this ain't no indie movie. This is like a $200 million movie.
Yeah, the budget for this film and what they're supposed to be racking in for this movie, I think it'll definitely underdevelop here. It's gonna flop because Marvel has not been doing well lately, and what's the best way to do it than to add to the discography of films with a film like the Marvels, which I'll be honest.
The filmography, by the way.
Yeah, the film. I said discography, filmography. So 2 of the characters are actually kind of likable. One of them, for me, not likable at all. But here's the thing.
Who, the main character? Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel, yeah. But the 2 other characters are
Miss Marvel and
Monica. Yeah. They're somewhat likable characters. But here's the issue. No one asked for this film. so like nobody cared for it. So like you're just adding a movie to the palette of Marvel Studios.
So what you're saying, what I'm hearing is it's a flop for both.
It's a flop for both. It's gonna flop.
Okay. Box office, I agree with you. Yes, I'm gonna agree it's a flop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the first Captain Marvel is a great movie. I'm not gonna sit here and defend the first Captain Marvel. I'm not about to do that. But I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. And honestly, I have a tiny bit of hope that it's not gonna be as bad as everyone's thinking it's gonna be. But we'll see. I'm probably gonna see it this weekend because it is a Marvel movie, so I want to see it quick. If not this weekend,
I'll
see
it quick so you can get
within
out of
the
theater.
first week. No, stop. I think it could be okay. Okay, at best it'll be a 6.5 out of 10. So that's not saying much. I just don't think it'll be I don't think it'll necessarily be a disaster. I could be wrong. It might be awful. We might report back to you that the movie sucks and that it's a flop. Both
You want to
ways.
know why Captain Marvel made $1 billion in the box office, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, because it was right before.
It was right before Endgame.
Everyone knows that.
Exactly. But we just had to catch them up on that. And I think the Marvels is just the advertising. I'm sorry, but it's been super cheesy.
No, the advertising has been awful.
It's the marketing's been awful.
So the consensus, I'll agree with you here since we're trying to come to a consensus together on this one. I'll agree with you. It's going to be a flop for both.
Flop.
I just am a little bit more optimistic about the movie itself. Moving along, what else do we got here? Oh, Trolls.
Band together.
Trolls band together. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong list. Trolls band together. Is it going to be a box office flop? Tell me yes or no.
I personally think it's going to bop to the top and be a pop. I think this one's going to be one of the biggest movies of the year.
Biggest
And
of the year?
yeah, and I'm saying that with as much sarcasm as possible because I think this will be a flop.
Oh, okay. I
They
thought you
should
were
have.
dead serious for a second.
They should have. They should have stopped after Trolls 1. When Trolls 2 came out, which was a world tour.
It was trash, by the way. I watched it. It was trash.
It was very trash, and they literally took the same plot from Infinity War and made it into a kids movie, with like,
but not a good kids movie.
no, it was trash.
Yeah.
But it had some good songs. Like I said, they produce good soundtracks, but do they produce good movies? No. And I'll be honest, I've heard no buzz. I've heard no buzz of this movie at all. The marketing, the advertising has been absolutely slim to none. And on top of that, I don't know, I can't even tell what the demographic you're trying to get. Obviously kids, but like, I know I'm teaching at a middle school, and here's the thing. I don't know if middle school is any part of that target audience. If it is, I've heard nothing in the school. Man, I can't wait to go see Trolls.
Trolls was never middle school though. It was like elementary.
It was more elementary, but like I feel like some like some group out of middle school. I just feel like
I don't know.
I just feel like I would have heard a little more buzz about this movie, and I've heard absolutely nothing from it.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a flop in the box office, and I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to be a flop when it comes to
trash.
From Rotten Tomatoes.
The studio has not shown any faith in this movie. They haven't promoted it very much, and at that, it's not even been good.
They're also reaching for that plot so badly.
Yeah. I will say the NSYNC song's cool.
Yeah,
but
I love it.
That's about all it's got going for it.
Yep.
So, Trolls band together, flop both ways for us. Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving. I don't think there's ever been that I know of a Thanksgiving slasher movie. I'm not gonna lie, this looks dumb, but it looks like a fun time at the movies. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of curious to see it. Will I actually go to the theater? I don't know. I probably watch it on streaming. But so for me, I mean, obviously, let's not even go there. It's gonna be a flop box office. It's not gonna do very well at the box office. This is a streaming movie. Quite frankly, it probably should have gone straight to streaming. But I think it'll be a good time. So I'm going to say pop. I think Thanksgiving will be a pop. What do you think?
I think when it comes to box office, if it would have been rated PG-13, I think it might have been pop, in my opinion.
That's an interesting thought. Okay.
Because I think there's a good target audience out there.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, I do hear stuff from like, a lot of middle schoolers that are around, like they're into slashers, believe it or not.
Okay.
I've seen kids wear like Scream like shirts everywhere.
Okay.
A lot of kids are really into a lot of horror movies lately, and a lot of slasher specific movies. A lot of kids really loved FNAF, and that was rated PG-13. They were able to go see those movies.
Right. And Megan did really well.
And Megan did really well. I think a movie like this would have done better in the box office. But then again, though, since it is a slasher, I do like that it's rated R because, with slasher, you get more bloody gore. But I think it'll do better than what some people predict it to be. I think some of the marketing and advertising has been pretty cool for this movie. Again, it's really cheesy, but I don't know how much money it's going to produce. I also don't even know what the budget necessarily was, but
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was probably a pretty small budget.
Yeah, it was probably pretty small. But
Addison Rae's in the movie though.
Yeah. So for all you TikTokers out there, I mean, maybe you'll like it. But for me personally, I think.
What if she's the opening kill? Okay, we're getting sidetracked.
New Drew Barrymore.
Sorry, we're getting back to. We need to get back to the segment.
But yeah, I think it'll be a pop for like me. I think I will like it. But yeah, I think it'll be probably a flop in the box office.
Okay, this one's interesting. Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the new Hunger Games movie.
Yeah,
How are we feeling about the new Hunger Games movie? Will it be a flop at the box office?
I think it will be a flop, a big flop at the box office.
Bro, we've had like all flops so far.
Yeah.
This is tragic.
Yeah, it's tragic, but
we'll get to some pops.
This is for good reason. I'm not going to go into it, but I think the biggest reason that this movie will flop, two reasons. Two reasons that I think this movie will flop is, again, I'm not hearing any chatter, and this should be a good demographic for middle schoolers into high school, and then for anyone who grew up with the Hunger Games, which is kind of our generation a little bit. I haven't heard enough. I haven't heard enough chit chat about it. And I think that the marketing has been very quiet. It's randomly showed up on TV a few times when I'm watching a game or something like that. But the other biggest thing, and I hate to bring this into it, I'm not saying it's going to destroy it. It's going to be a big reason, but I think it's going to be a pretty substantive reason, which is Rachel Zegler. She's caused a lot of drama and controversy.
Do you think that'll affect this movie though?
Yes, I do. I see it on every single post. She has, and I'm not saying she deserves everything that she's gotten, but she has in the past year, this past year, specifically these last few months, she has criticized everything that she's been in, specifically the Snow White.
I was gonna say, you think the Hunger Games movie will be affected by the Snow White stuff?
Because a lot of people are. I've seen a lot of people comment on this movie. I see, like, I've watched the posts of people just like comment on the movies, trailers and stuff like that, and they're saying like, I'm not watching this movie because Rachel Zegler's in it. I'm still thinking the movie could be good. I'm just saying.
So you think it could be a pop though, as far as the movie?
The movie could be a pop. I'm just saying in the box office, I don't see it doing well at all.
Okay. So final prediction for what you think the movie will be? Pop or flop?
I'm just gonna flat out say flop. I know it's pretty depressing, but I'm gonna say it.
Okay. I'm going to say I can get down with flop for both because I'll be honest. I feel like buzz-wise, this movie has not really gotten a lot of steam.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really feel like people are that excited for another Hunger Games movie, to be honest with you. I'm not the most massive Hunger Games fan, so I could be wrong. Maybe there is a lot of people that are excited about this, but I haven't seen a lot of buzz online and stuff like that. So I feel like I'm going to agree with you. Flop, and then again, when it comes to my opinion on the movie, don't have that strong of feelings toward Hunger Games, so I really don't care if it, like, I probably won't even see it, to be completely honest with you. So, but we'll say flop as well. We'll say flop for both. This is depressing. We've had all flops so far. We got
this upcoming movie, I think, is going to be a pop.
Napoleon,
pop,
the new Ridley Scott movie with Joaquin Phoenix playing Napoleon. Every trailer I've seen for this, and I've seen a lot of TV spots that will come on, honestly looks really good. And it's Ridley Scott. I'm going to say box office. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of these movies are going to do that good. Like a historical movie, although maybe it being a historical movie could play off what Oppenheimer did. I don't know if there's been that same type of, like, because Oppenheimer had such a boost from Barbie, there's not a Barbie behind Napoleon. You know what I'm saying?
Trolls band together.
All right. All right. So I'm going to say box office flop, but it won't flop as hard as some of these other ones, I don't think. Just because I also think the budget for this one, I'm going to go on a limb and say it probably wasn't quite as massive of a production. But I could be wrong. It might flop. But I think the movie's going to be fire. It looks really, really good. And we've gotten a lot of good kind of historic type of movies this year, more than even just Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will add to that list. I think this will be a good one. So my prediction would be pop, and then box office flop, but not as hard as some of the other ones. What do you think?
I could probably agree with you. I'll try to give this one a little bit more positivity and say that I think it could pop in the box office. It could be a sleeper hit that I think it's going to be a word of mouth type of thing that'll get people in the theaters. I think that it could also be a pop because all these other movies are crap, and maybe that people just want to watch a good movie, and maybe it's going to be a breath of fresh air. So, yes, you already are limiting an audience a little bit when it's rated R, but it's Napoleon. No, it's already that kind of target audience is already like,
yeah, it's a
historical like
drama.
Yeah, so I don't think that's going to be really affecting it that much. I think that it knows the audience it's going for, and I think the audience will really enjoy it, and I think it will be really good spread word of mouth.
Okay.
So I think it could pop in the box office.
I like it. New Disney movie, Wish. Let's just say it. I haven't seen hardly any promo for this. I hate to keep doing this. This list is getting depressing, but it's going to flop. It's not going to do good. Quite frankly, feel like Disney has this isn't a rant about Disney, so we're not going to go there. But because they've made so many things Disney Plus, I think it's programmed my brain for a movie like this to just go straight to Disney Plus. And so I just, it is, I will say it is coming out Thanksgiving weekend and the week of Thanksgiving, which movies do decent. Like Encanto came out the weekend of Thanksgiving, which was a sleeper hit. Although Encanto's box office wasn't that amazing. It really shined on Disney Plus, which goes back to my whole point of I think people have gotten programmed for Disney Plus. So box office, I'm going to say it's probably going to flop. I don't feel like I've seen enough of the movie to say flop or pop. But at the same time, that's maybe a little bit telling that it might suck. Because I haven't really seen anything that's made me excited. But I also, again, haven't seen much. So I'm going to say flop for both. Where are you at with it?
First off, this movie looks like it was a DreamWorks movie made from like 2005. I've seen the trailers. It does not look like, a movie, like an animated movie from Disney coming out in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
This looks, oh gosh, I wish it didn't exist.
No, don't do that.
So I've seen the trailer, the story of it, the plot of it, it's kind of generic. But I'm not going to say that it's going to be bad for sure. I think there's parts of it, of the trailer, that maybe is cute. Maybe we'll end up, tugging on the heartstrings a little bit. Maybe I'll see it in 10 years on Disney Plus. If Disney Plus is still working as a streaming platform. But I'm going to have to agree with Joe here and go flop. All
right. Next up, getting into December, the Beyonce Renaissance concert movie. I feel like this has been a very, very popping tour this year. And I feel like the shine of the Eras movie doing really well could push people to want to see this because the tour did really well. So I'm going to say the Beyonce Renaissance concert thing that's going to be in theaters. I'm going to say pop. I actually think it'll do well box office. And I feel like I've heard enough people talking about this Beyonce tour and being like, oh, I'm going to see the Renaissance tour. I'm going to say pop. And it's probably a phenomenal show. I don't doubt that. Beyonce's been on some weird stuff the last few years. I'm not going to lie to you. But she's still a great artist. So I'm going to say pop for both. Where are you at? Can we agree on this one?
No. I'm going to say flop both. And I'm going to say this because I'm saying this because...
Are you going to go see it?
No.
Wait, why do you think it's going to suck?
No.
Beyonce.
It is Beyonce. She's a good singer, not a good movie star. But no.
It's a concert.
I
what do
know.
you mean?
I know. I'm just joking about that part. But what I'm trying to say, though, is that this Eras tour, I think, has overshadowed the Renaissance tour a little bit. Just a little bit. As much as I would definitely choose Beyonce over Taylor Swift, I would do that 20 million times. And again and again and again. Everyone who knows me knows that I would pick Beyonce over Taylor Swift in a heartbeat. Do I think it's going to be a better, I don't know if it's going to be a better movie than the Taylor Swift era, like than that whole movie. I don't know. I want it to. I want this movie to do really well. I think it could be well. And I think I'm going to say pop. I'm going to agree with you on the pop when it comes to just as a documentary film, like of the tour. I think it'll be good. Do I think it's going to do well in the box office? I sadly think it'll flop.
Okay. Wonka. Timothy Chalamet as Willy Wonka. Let's change it up for this one. The movie itself, I've heard people like the trailers, okay? Not me. I'll be honest. These trailers have kind of pissed me off. And as much as that pains me to say it, because I like Timothy Chalamet. I do. And I do think the Hugh Grant thing as a Oompa Loompa is pretty funny. And this is the guy who did Paddington. So, will the movie be good? For me personally, I'm going to say no based off the trailers. So I'm going to say it's going to be a flop. but I would love to be proved wrong. I also think, and I'll make this quick, I am so nostalgic for Willy Wonka. It's honestly one of my all-time favorite movies, the original.
Gave me nightmares when I was a kid.
No, it's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's so classic. I rewatched it like last year. It's so classic. So you already are kind of playing in dangerous waters for me. Like you're playing with an all-time classic. So, and they already did the Johnny Depp thing just not that long ago. I mean, big picture, not that long ago. So I unfortunately think the movie's going to be a flop as far as the quality. Box office, I could see it popping. I'm going to say it's going to pop because Timothée Chalamet is also fairly popular. I'm going to say pop, box office, flop movie. Where are you at with it?
I just don't think there's I don't think this one's going to be worth a golden ticket. That's all I'm going to say. I think it's going to flop. I think it's going to flop as in review wise. I don't think it's going to be that good of a movie. I think it's going to let me down as a Willy Wonka nightmare experience because I'll be honest, when I was a kid, like I said earlier, I did have nightmares of Willy Wonka and the Oompa Loompas.
Was it the scene in the boat, in the tunnel? Was that was the scene that?
Well, I'm claustrophobic. I'm claustrophobic, and I imagine myself as the kid who loved chocolate. And when he got
sucked
when he got stuck through
that was your dream.
I had nightmares over that, and I also had nightmares.
I get it.
I also had nightmares of just being stuck in that chocolate factory, and
also in general.
And also the fact that it's called a chocolate factory, yet it has all these different types of candies, which I understand that's just how a lot of chocolate shops work. Like they have other candies to it, but like it just like I don't know. I never was a big fan of Willy Wonka, and this isn't going to be the one to bring me back. So
wait, you weren't a fan of the movie?
No, I wasn't.
You just disappointed me. All right, next one. So you think the movie's gonna be? Time out. You think the movie's gonna be a flop and the box office is flop?
My expectations are about as short as an Oompa Loompa.
Okay. All right. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I'm just gonna say it. The first one made $1 billion. It's been a long time since the first one. Although I will say, a lot of its money was made in the international box office. So you can't. Same way Fast 10 was a flop in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
It still made like 600 million, or something like that, like over 500, because the international numbers were still phenomenal. Actually, no, I think Fast X made like 700 something. I don't know. Regardless, this is the type of movie where I'm gonna say flop only because the first one made so much, and I think this will probably only make half what the first one makes. And yeah, it's gonna be a flop. The movie, it does not look good. Any of the trailers I've seen look goofy. It wasn't the worst trailer I've ever seen in my life, put it that way. Like when I watched the most recent one, I think I liked it better than the Wonka trailer, but that wasn't really saying much. I don't think it's gonna be good. What do you think?
I'm gonna slightly disagree with you there. I think it's gonna be a pop in the box office, good enough. Maybe not. It's not gonna reach its last totals like Joe was saying, but I also think it could be a pop, as in a good movie, and good with good reviews. I'm not saying it's gonna be the best DCU movie, but what does get me excited about it are a lot of the different new characters and the same characters that are coming back into it. Jason Momoa, I think, plays a really good Aquaman. Now,
I agree with you.
The only thing that could bring it down a little bit is Amber Heard. She's still in the movie, believe it or not, with everything that has gone down. But I think they limited her screen time a little bit in this movie.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they cut.
So that's good to hear. But I have a little bit of faith in this movie. I think it's going to be action packed. I'm going into an Aquaman movie not expecting like the best, best plot ever made in human history, but I'm going in just to have a good time and be entertained. And with all the action being done underwater, I thought was cool with the first one, and I think it'll be cool again with this next one. So I actually have some instilled faith in this one. I'm going to say pop and pop.
Okay.
Double pop.
All right, double pop. Last one. The Color Purple comes out Christmas Day. So does Ferrari. The Color Purple. I actually thought the trailer looked good.
I thought the trailer looked good too.
And
I saw
it's
it
a
in theaters
remake.
a couple times.
Yeah, it's a remake of a classic that people love. Very music heavy too, which musical stuff does well.
Especially on Christmas time.
Yes.
A lot of musical-ish movies. Last year, my family and I went to go watch this. I don't know. It wasn't last year. I think it was the year before that. It was Sing 2, which I really liked that movie. I thought it was pretty darn good. But I like the trailers of The Color Purple. I like some of the actors and actresses that are in the movie.
I didn't know if Oprah was coming back. I don't think she is. Oprah's not coming back for it.
But yeah, I think the cast is pretty good. I'd be interested in watching it. Do I think it's going to be a pop in the box office? I sadly don't think it will. I think it'll be a bit of a flop in the box office. But I think it'll be a pop. Like, I think it'll be a good movie. I think people really like it. Maybe it will spread word of mouth and maybe end up doing well in the box office. But I just, as of right now, that's what I'm going to say.
I'm going to slightly disagree. I think it could be a pop. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I'm going to say pop, though, for box office. And then, yeah, I think the movie itself looks good. Yeah, it's a remake. Yeah, the original's already very good. But I think this could be good. It looks good. It looks good. So, pop for both for me. But that's it for our pop or flop. Let us know how you're feeling about this new segment. Comment your thoughts below.
Pop or flop.
Pop or flop, baby. Moving right along, what's been in our rotation? So, like we did last time, what's in our rotation? What have we been listening to? We're each going to give 5 tracks we've been vibing with recently and kind of go from there. So, Mo, give me something you've been vibing to lately. It doesn't have to be new.
Yeah.
It can be whatever. Well,
first one, it's just a new song. This one's a newer song. Came out recently. It's called "That's You" by Lucky Day. I really like this song.
You stole my answer, bro.
Really? This song's
amazing.
This song sounded like it was produced by Silk Sonic.
Yes, it completely. Let's just talk about this together.
Yeah,
this one, because this one's also mine. This song is amazing. You need to listen to the song if you haven't heard it. That's You, Lucky Day. It feels like a leftover from the Silk Sonic album. And it was co-written by Bruno. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
So, and the production of it, shout out to D Mile going crazy. I think this was a Silk Sonic leftover, and this song is fire. So this is one of the better R&B songs I've heard in a long time, to be honest. I mean, there's been a lot of really good R&B.
Yeah.
But like, this is some heat right here.
Another one for me is I'm gonna choose one of the two here. I'm gonna choose "Built for This" by Tripoli and KB off of Tripoli's new album.
I still haven't listened to the full album.
Wow,
I've skimmed it.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I really like this song. I listened to this song specifically. It was in my playlist for the mini. I ran the Monumental mini marathon recently, and it was part of my playlist, and it helped me push through those miles. So that's been in my rotation.
Nice. I'm rocking with it. Next up, let's go Miles Minnick. Let's go. Christ-like. I've been bopping this song lately since this dropped last Friday. As of when we're recording this. Song is a banger. Great new Christian rap. Miles Minnick is one of my favorites out right now, bringing that West Coast sound. And this song is great. Christ-like Miles Minnick. You got your next one?
Yeah. The next one for me is Sensational by Chris Brown. It's this song is just such a vibe, to say the least. And his new album is coming out tonight, the day of recording. And so I'm super excited for that. But that song is just so replayable and so chill. And that's definitely been on my rotation.
Nice. And was that out when we recorded last? I think it came out.
It came out that week, and it might have been in my rotation last time, and it still is if that was the case.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm rocking with it. Give me. Honestly, I do really like this new Forrest and Hovey song. They put out another song together. Have you heard it? It's
Speaking
called
of,
"Fly Away."
I have heard it, but also quick plug: Forrest is dropping a Christmas album tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So Forrest Frank and Hovey, they've been dropping a bunch of singles together. This one's called "Fly Away." Good track. Totally would recommend it. Mo, what you got for your?
So I've got two more.
Yeah, you got
One of them is this one's a classic Lucky Day, because ever since I started hearing his new song, obviously, I went back to Rosamo.
so classic.
It's so good. That
It's a modern day classic.
the original and the
remix,
the remix
Ty
are
and Wale.
oh, they're just
gosh.
they're so good.
That song's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's so good. So I've been kind of re-listening to that song a lot. So
I am not mad at that at all. Okay. I'm taking it way back. I found like sometimes with my music taste, I love going through older music and discovering older songs that I've never heard before. So I think I was on like an old school R&B playlist, like a 70s R&B playlist. And I came across this track. It's by a group or artist, no, it's a group named GQ. This song's called "I Do Love You." This is a bop and a half. If we weren't doing the copyright thing, I would play you guys a segment of it. But "I Do Love You" by GQ.
thanks, man.
This is a banger. You should go listen to it right now. 70s soul, loving it. That's been one of my rotation records.
For me, the last one on this list for me, what's in my rotation is just because Chris Brown's dropping his new album coming out. I've been kind of going back to just some of his other music. "Don't Slow Me Down" is such a sleeper of a song that no one's really, I felt like, listened to. It came out in his "Heartbreak on a Full Moon" deluxe album.
Wait, what's that one called again?
"Don't Slow Me Down."
Okay.
It is such upbeat tempo, fun song. It's just it's such a good song. It's so replayable. I go back to it every single year because it's so good. So those
Nice.
those are songs that are in my rotation. What's your last song?
Nice. My last record that's been in my rotation. I'm gonna go with. Let's go. Oh, where'd it go? I just had it. Okay, I don't think I talked about this one last time. There's this song. It's like kind of a country song, but more slow acoustic. I don't even know what I would genre. It's like a. I'm struggling to put a genre on it. It's kind of more of an R&B song, honestly.
Mhm.
But it's just an amazing song. It's called "Sweet Symphony" by an artist named Joy Aladukun. I don't know how to say her last name. Forgive me. And Chris Stapleton. This song came out last year. Have you heard this song?
I haven't heard it.
This is like so. Where I came across it was as a first dance, and then I was like, wait, I think I've heard this before because I think I heard it when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
This song is fire. I should play this one for you. You would love this song. It is like a first dance type of song. It's just a great love song, and Chris Stapleton's amazing. The other girl, Joy, she's incredible on the track.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been playing that a lot. So that is what's been in our rotation.
Yeah.
What's been in your rotation? Let us know.
Yeah. What's in your rotation? And speaking of putting songs in rotation, answer this down, in the comments. I just would love to hear everyone's answer on this. But as we get closer and closer to Thanksgiving, we are getting closer and closer to Christmas. When is it okay to listen to Christmas music? And when is it okay to celebrate Christmas? Okay. I'll quickly kind of have my answer on this real quick.
Oh, we know your answer.
No, I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I think it's updated a little bit. I don't think it's wrong to maybe listen to some Christmas music around this time. When it comes to decorating, going all out, doing Christmas things,
I went ahead and did a little behind you.
Oh,
on your other side. Side.
What?
Right there.
Oh yeah. I saw that. I was getting confused because I didn't know what view it was from the camera. But yeah. There's some little Christmas decoration there. When it comes to like watching a lot of Christmas movies and doing more Christmas things other than just listening to Christmas music, I mean, I'm gonna personally do my best to withhold on that till Thanksgiving. But like obviously all this holiday cheer built inside of me is wanting to burst. But I'm trying to do a better job. I'm trying to do a better job at holding it in and waiting till Thanksgiving. But I want you to drop down in the comments.
The people respect that.
Yeah, I want people to just kind of drop down. When is it? When do you start listening to Christmas music? When do you start doing Christmas stuff?
And my 2 cents, just real quickly.
Mhm.
I used to be a hater in that I used to say, yeah, not until after Thanksgiving, anything Christmas. You kind of changed my mind. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think you should go all out until after Thanksgiving, meaning as in you can play a few Christmas records. But yeah, I'm not about to be like watching Home Alone and Elf before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I think that's whack.
Yeah.
And also the decorations. I think the consumerism of America has twisted my brain to where
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, the Halloween decorations are down. Time to put up the Christmas decorations. So I'm not as much of a hater as I once was. You can start celebrating some Christmas stuff. I just think there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying?
But we're gonna mosey on down to the sports segment to kind of finish things out. Where I just kind of want a brief little update here on the good old.
Last time we talked,
Yeah.
you were talking big about the Pacers.
Yes, and I still am because the Pacers took a dub against the Milwaukee
It was looking
Bucks.
rough, but then they kind of picked it back up these last few games.
Yes, the Indiana Pacers are looking good right now. They live and die by the 3-point line right now. They are a very quick offensive team. They're the fastest team in the NBA. I will stand by that. Like they are nonstop. They want to run the court all the time. But offense is great. The defense is terrible. They have one of the worst.
I agree.
They have one of the worst defenses in the NBA. Now that's not saying too much because there's not much defense in the NBA. Right. But they
At
have
least in the regular season.
They don't try on defense. Like whenever they'll give open lanes. They want the ball back as soon as possible. Mm-hmm. That also means they'll give up a basket as soon as possible. So usually the games that they're in are high score on both ends. But the Pacers have done a really good job, and they just came up on the Bucks, who apparently I just saw Giannis. He had 54 points in that game.
Dang,
and
that's crazy.
I have Giannis in my fantasy. So hopefully
shout out to Giannis.
Shout out to Giannis
because the Pacers still won. So shout out to Giannis.
Pacers won. Giannis getting fantasy points. So,
you know
so yeah. So that was awesome. Okay. So the Pacers are looking good right now, and I think they're bringing in the one quick bit I want to say is screw Bally Sports. I can't stand Bally Sports. It's a freaking waste of money. It's a waste of time. I'll just find a way to stream the game somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Hopefully Bally Sports is getting terminated because it doesn't work. They charge $20 a month for it and like 120 some bucks per season, which you think of all the other streaming platforms that we use like daily, like that are like $5 to $10 a month or something like that.
That have all kinds
of stuff, and you're charging $20 a month for just Pacer games because Bally Sports doesn't offer that. You can watch Pacer games and Fever games, and then like some hockey games. Mm-hmm. That's all you can watch on Bally Sports.
Here's what I think. We're getting sidetracked here a little bit, but this is where I think it's going. I think eventually, because right now that's kind of local based, right? Like mm-hmm. even when it was Fox Sports, that's roughly local or regional,
yes.
we'll say.
Yeah.
I think where it's going, because college football this year has started doing like the Peacock and ESPN Plus and like Paramount Plus has some, mm-hmm. and even Prime Video, which I think Prime is starting to get college, not just the NFL Thursday nights. I think it's where it's going is all the bigger streamers are going to start sucking in all these small local networks. So I think give it a few years from now, the Pacers will be on Peacock, and you'll just have to pay for Peacock.
Yeah.
And then, there'll probably be a different tiers of Peacock or Paramount Plus or whatever it is that'll be like, hey, this is the sports tier if you want sports included, or this is the ad tier like they have now if you just want movies and TV or whatever. I think that's where it's going. But for now,
anywhere else than
we're dealing with Bally Sports.
I get it.
I don't have too much to add to the whole Pacers thing because I'll be honest, I haven't watched as much recently. I have followed like to see how they're doing record wise and stuff like that. But from what I have seen, because I did see some of the more earlier games, I agree with your sentiment on. I feel like offensively we've looked really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, not so much. We got room for improvement, but I do feel pretty optimistic after seeing some games here.
Yeah.
Like, it's still very early, so I don't want to speak too soon. I'm not going to jump off the ledge like you and say we're going to be 3 or 4, but which right now we are because it's But again, it's early on. But like I said, I'm feeling optimistic, and I do think, like I had said on the first podcast or on the first one back, episode 50. I think if we make the playoffs, I'll be happy. And I think right now we're on track to definitely make the playoffs. I think we look really good. So, yeah, shout out to the Pacers.
Yeah.
Keeping it Indiana themed. How are you feeling about the Colts?
Well, they're off to Frankfurt, Germany, to play against the New England Patriots, which is, obviously a huge rivalry that we've always had, whether Tom Brady's been playing for them or not.
Even though the Pats suck this year.
But the Pats do suck this year.
So this should be a dub.
So this should be a dub for the Colts. Now,
but you never know with the Colts.
But again, just like Joe said, you never know with the Colts. So, I'm gonna say Colts dub, but I never know. Their schedule, like I've said in the past, they have an easy remaining schedule. But again, at any given day, I feel like the Colts could lose or win and beat any team. They could beat any team and get beaten by any team. That's what I feel about the Colts.
So last time we recorded, things were looking way more positive than they have.
Yeah, well, it came fresh off the game though. Or wait, before?
No, I think we recorded right before the Browns.
We recorded right before the Browns game, which that game.
To be fair, they still played great that game.
They played great that game, and they got cheated out by the refs.
And then has there been 3 weeks since?
3 weeks counting that. So
okay, so there's been 2 more games.
Yes,
which we lost 1-1, right?
No, we lost the Browns, we lost the Saints, and then we
yeah. So of those other 2,
yes,
other than the Browns, we've lost.
Yeah, yes, perfect.
So. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add to the Colts. I still am Mr. Down on the Colts.
I think
do think it's funny because you said that you thought they were going to be like 10-6 or something like that at the time we recorded that.
I said,
or maybe something like that.
11-6,
even worse.
11-6. Laugh at me now, okay? Their ceiling is 10-7. Okay,
you still think they could get 10 wins?
Yes, because their schedule is easy,
but. Seeing what they've done,
I know. I'm saying their ceiling is. I'm not saying that's what they're gonna get.
What are they gonna get? Tell me what they're gonna get.
I think 9-8 is realistic. I personally.
So you still think it could have a winning record?
Yes, they can have a winning record. 9-8 is realistic.
And what are they at right now?
4-5.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking because I remember seeing they were 3.
I think 9-8 is realistic for them. I think 10-7 is a ceiling for them, and I think the floor is for me 7-10.
So 9-8, they would have to go 5-3 the rest of the season. Yeah, right.
Their only game against they have 2 games against winning teams with winning records, and that's the Bengals and the Steelers. The Steelers have gotten lucky with wins. They're not as good of a team as they've been showcased as.
I do agree with that.
The Bengals are a good team, and they're getting hot right now. But here's the thing: the Colts are known as the team that can go in and beat any team and lose to any team. So I'm not going to just say that the Bengals game's a loss, but I think we could have that loss against a team that we should beat. Right. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I think
your prediction is 9-8.
9-8.
Okay.
Locking it in. Laugh at me later if it's worse than that or something like that. But
for kicks and giggles, I'll go along with you and I'll give my prediction. I'm going to say, wait, and we have 17 games?
Yeah.
Why did I always think it was 16?
It used to be 16 until a couple years ago.
So, but it's still just a 1 bye week, right?
Yes.
All right.
The Colts bye weeks next week.
All right. So if you say 9-8, I'm gonna say 7-10. Okay. I'm gonna say 7-10.
Okay. Loser has to get a buzz or no.
No, I don't know if I want to make a bet. I don't know if I want to actually put anything on it. But yeah, for the prediction, for the record.
Yeah.
In the documentation, I'm going to say 7-10.
Okay.
Any other sports coverage we wanted to talk about? That's not Indiana related.
other than IU basketball. IU basketball and Purdue
I feel like
basketball
it's
just
too
played.
early to say
Yeah.
a ton about at least for me. I don't have a
Yeah.
ton to say about Purdue yet because it's still so early.
Yeah. I don't have too much to say about IU basketball, but they looked a little rough around the edges when they played their first game. But at least they didn't lose to James Madison for all you Michigan State fans out there.
That was rough.
So-
I did see that.
So anything can happen in the first few weeks of college basketball, no matter who you're playing against.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's kind of it for me when updates on my teams right now.
MLB, the Rangers won the World Series.
Yes, congratulations.
That wasn't much of a competition. It was like 4-1.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Episode 51. It's down. Have a great weekend, wherever you at when you hear this.
Yeah. Hey,
we'll see you
closer to Thanksgiving.
Closer to Thanksgiving. That's right. And we may modify the schedule, so keep an eye on the Instagram. We may modify the uploading schedule just because of the holidays. But yeah, without further ado, sayonara.
Peace.